Maybe Captain Tamayo may answer this. Uh, Last January 1, you mentioned, I don't know who amongst the officials of the DOTR mentioned, that it was the UPS that malfunctioned. And now, your letter addressed to Senator Grace Poe, you mentioned that it was the circuit breaker that malfunctioned. Ano ba talaga?
Stop the timer. Okay, go ahead.
As I mentioned earlier, Your Honor, the initial indication was the circuit breaker went on standby. So, correction, the UPS went on standby, hence there was no power going in. So, there was a series of tests that was done by the technicians, and they decided to restart or re-energize the circuit breaker. So, correction, the UPS. So this was now working. So all the while, may kuryente na. So we were happy with that because we just had to wait for the re-initialization of the system para operational. But it turned out after Powerus was allowed to energize the CNS ATM, the people inside the equipment building detected a burning smell or something in the equipment. So what they did, they immediately turned off all the circuit breakers inside that equipment room to protect the whole system from further damage. So ganun ho ang nangyari doon. So kala namin, the first defect was the UPS. So yun ho una lumabas, but then troubleshooting occurred until they found out na yun hong circuit breaker pala ang nagkakos ng shutdown.
Bakit ngayon nyo lang nalaman, after 8 days, bakit ngayon nyo lang nalaman na circuit breaker ang may diferensya?
Hindi po. If I may, we found out on the same day.
On the same day?
Yes, sir.
Ngayon lang kayo sumulat kay Senator Grace sa January 9 na circuit breaker ang may diferensya.
It occurred on January 1 din po.
Wala pong proper maintenance ang circuit breaker?
The circuit breaker has minimum maintenance actually. Ang ginagawa lang ho ng mga technicians dyan is to check yun hong mga nuts kanina na nakita natin. They make sure it is tight. They make sure the voltage passes through it and there is continuity. The circuit breakers are sealed units, sir.
How did you fix the faulty circuit breaker?
We replaced it, sir.
Did you make any upgrade?
No, sir. Exactly
You
the
just
same.
fixed it?
Exactly the same.
Is there a backup system?
This circuit breaker, sir, marami eh. As I illustrated earlier, bago pumasok po doon, 3 pa ang circuit breakers, and then each of the equipment has its own circuit breaker itself. Aside from that, there are 2 panels for redundancy.
You mentioned on the same day that it was the circuit breaker that malfunctioned.
That's correct, sir.
Why did you report to our chairperson only now that it was the circuit breaker that malfunctioned?
I would like to apologize, sir, for the late submission to the
Kasi
chairperson.
pagkakalam namin, UPS ang nag-malfunction.
Yes, sir.
Ngayon sinasabi mo, circuit breaker. Are you incompetent?
I apologize, sir.
Tamayo, meron bang pangyayari na bago nangyari itong January 1 glitch, meron ba nangyari na power outage before?
None, Your Honor, to the chair.
None.
This is the first time it happened.
Sigurado ka, none.
Sa CNS ATM po.
No September of 2022, nagkaroon ng power outage sa Terminal 3. Am I correct?
That is Terminal 3, sir.
Yes, Terminal 3.
That's correct, sir. That's the airport.
Bakit sinabi mo wala?
I'm only referring to the CNS ATM. Sir.
No, whatever. Power outage pa rin yun.
Okay, yes, sir.
What did you do there? Nagkaroon na ng president, whatever. na nagkaroon na ng power outage noong September sa NAIA Terminal 3. What actions have you taken to prevent similar recurrence?
Uh,
Bakit nangyari ulit ito?
through
Hindi
the
ba kayo
chair,
nadala na nagkaroon na tayo ng power outage noong September last year?
through the chair, Your Honor, may I request the GM of NAIA to explain this?
Mr. Chong, you're recognized.
Madam Chair, yes, Your Honor, yes, there was an outage at NAIA Terminal 3. It lasted for about 6 hours. Actually, ma'am, the standby generator was able to power up naman po. It's just that there were some critical mission items that were not connected to the standby generator. And that was the immigration connection po. That's why there were some queues. But what happened, ma'am, there were only about 20 flights that were affected. And actually, na-restore naman po siya after a few hours. And there was no outage that happened after.
So did you learn your lesson there? You have the contingencies in place already na connect na ninyo yung immigration.
Yes, ma'am.